Okay, hello. Welcome back. I'm your favorite bot in DLC CC. I'd like to apologize for the previous videos. Turns out 4 or 5 of them only had a voice. I think I figured out the problem. I was maximizing the screen, so you'll see in this video not maximized, so you can see the stuff at the top. So hopefully it works out this time. So this week we're going to be going over our match against the Grand Prairie Pangaros, coached by Tusk. Tusk has been having kind of a rough season, but he's always pretty good, so we're going to keep an eye out for his team, see what we're going to do. We've used everyone on our roster so far this season, so everyone's fair game now. So we're just going to see how things go. Let's look over his team. He's got a Mega Metagross, always scary. Those thing can hit like a truck as long as it doesn't miss. Clefable, it's unaware is a problem if I want to set up, and if he wants to make it offensive, he could run Magikarp, and an offensive Clefable I think would do really well against my team. So we're going to keep an eye out for that. Terrakion is here, the pre-version of our Iron Boulder, so we're going to have a matchup there. I suspect that'll come in Clefable and Mega Metagross. Tentacruel's here. Not sure if he'll bring it. Don't think it's that impressive versus me. Swampert's here. Swampert's interesting. Might come. Probably Rock Setter. Crobat. Don't see this drafted very often. I'm not too worried about it. I think I have a lot of answers to a Crobat, so we'll keep an eye out for that though. Celesteela can do a whole bunch of stuff, can be very scary, so I'm going to need to make sure that the majority of my Pokemon can hit this thing. Don't want it going insane with Beast Boost or any setup moves. Drapion is here. Another Pokemon I rarely ever see. Not too confident it'll come. Tusk doesn't quite strike me as a low tier user, but maybe I'm wrong. Dodrio's here. Very quick Pokemon. Can actually hit harder than expected, so unless I bring something very defensive, we'll probably just have to go blow for blow. Electivire, I don't know, I don't think it does amazing against me. Outsped by most of my Pokemon. Not really hitting anything too hard. And then Centiskorch is here. Alright. So if you look at the speed tiers, again, there's Crobat with the 130, outspeeds all my Pokemon, and then I've got 2 Pokemon who will outspeed what I'm most scared of on his speed roster, which would be Mega Metagross or Dodrio. These 2 Pokemon can beat those on their own, so I'm pretty confident we can handle that, unless Metagross goes with like an agility set or something like that. It doesn't seem to have too many Trick Room setters, but even if he did, his only real abuser would probably be Celesteela, which isn't that quick, but it's also not slow enough for it with my Electros here, so we're not going to worry too much about that. Looking at his type chart, lots of resistances according to this. It says that water would be pretty good against him. He only has 1 resistance, so that's something to keep in mind. So either Palkia or Mega Gyarados could be really good brings here. Electric, according to this chart, is decent. 2 immunities, one being Electivire, which I don't think will come, and one being Swampert. My electric type Electros can hit Swampert with a Giga Drain. Not sure it has much for Electivire, but I don't think Electivire will come. I will bring Electros. I kind of like its ability to kind of take on special hits here, maybe with an Assault Vest. He doesn't have overly strong special attackers. Celesteela could do it, Clefable could be one, maybe Electivire, Tentacruel. So no insane special attackers here. So if I just put an Assault Vest, any special attacking Pokemon he brings is kind of pointless, so to speak. So I think I want that. It also can kind of deal with Swampert, given that with Levitate, can't spam Earthquake either. Ground types seem to be on paper good against him, but again, 3 immunities. Celestial are the big problem. Fortunately, I got one of those ground types where they're not physical attackers and rely on Earthquake. Got a Nidoking here. Nidoking gets like every type coverage for reasons, and we can run Thunderbolt to hit this. Thunderbolt, Thunderbolt, and then we got an Earth Power on Metagross, Earth Power on Terrakion, Earth Power on Tentacruel. Like Earth Power just hits everything more or less. The only thing that maybe I'll probably bring Hidden Power Grass just to hit this, because it looks like I really only need Earth Power, Thunderbolt, and a Sludge Wave or Clefable. Yeah. Okay. Like we mentioned earlier, special attackers doesn't have a ton. He is very heavy on his physical ones, though. Metagross in particular, Dodrio, Terrakion. So I probably want something that can kind of handle these guys, and I think Drifblim might be a play here. Immune to Earthquake. Electivire, I guess, could hit it with an electric move, but I'll bring Terraghost to kind of deal with that. So we can't get Ice Beamed or Thunderbolted, Rock Slide, and especially in particular because of Terrakion. We don't want. I'm pretty sure a full defensive Drifblim should be able to take on Terrakion. Let's do a Choice Scarf. So Rock Blast, probably want a Stone Edge here. Okay, it does a lot of damage actually, but if I Terraghost, it's not killing me anymore. I'll have Will-O-Wisp neuter any of his attacks. And this is probably his best physical attacker counter, Drifblim. Yeah, absolutely. So, Drifblim fully defensive, Will-O-Wisp, so I can Will-O-Wisp with Terrakion, take a hit with Drifblim, and can like strength sap the damage away after. So this is really good, because his other physical attackers, which can do a lot of damage, of course, are not going to do as much as Terrakion does. So if I can take on a Terrakion, I can take on every other one. So that's a lock for this match, absolutely. I kind of like Iron Boulder here. If we look at the rock damage, maybe doesn't hit Swampert very well. Terrakion, I can use Close Combat. I can use Close Combat on Mega Metagross. Yeah. Although Mega Metagross might have Bullet Punch. I think I want Iron Boulder for this. Maybe a Swords Dance set just to take on some extra damage. Let's see what Swords Dance does. Iron Boulder. If we look at... So you'll see, can't quite KO. But if I bring a Swords Dance set, I should be able to hit everything. Swampert, one of those other ones. So like, I'll take that. Swampert doesn't really have any ability to heal. So if I can get Chip on throughout the match, that's good. Chip, Clefable, another annoying Pokemon. If he brings Magic Guard, Mighty Cleave goes insane. But if we have Unaware, then we got a bit of a problem. But those are probably his best answers to it. So I'm kind of going to go with that. He has lots of rock setters. I can expect him to bring stealth rocks. I don't feel like I need any hazards myself. Guess it kind of hits this, but it'd probably run boots. Yeah, stealth rocks isn't great. Maybe I'll bring spikes just to chip stuff like Metagross. Yeah. His removal isn't like stellar. Probably Ring Rapid Spin Tentacruel if he wants that. I don't think hazards are too important in this match. Alright, so let's take a look at the team we've built. Clearly did not do this on the right day. Alright, so we've got, here's our Electros that we talked about. We'll do it from here. So here's our Electros. I'm going to bring that Assault Vest just so that I can take on all his special attackers. I do decent damage to his Pokemon. Discharge for Stab Electric. Can hit some of his other Pokemon. So for example, I can start dealing damage to Celesteela, which is nice. Damage calculator, I'm going to move this over here. So if I put Electros here, Celesteela, I think it's decent damage. And again, Celesteela's only recovery is leftovers and maybe Leech Seed if he wants to bring that. So on a fully special defensive Celesteela, Discharge does good damage. I can get possible paralysis, so I'm good with that. The Giga Drain is for his Swampert. Acid Spray is so we have a way of dealing with Clefable. So if we look at Clefable here, I don't need stat boosting, but if I start running Acid Spray, I'm going to start dropping his special defense, increasing my damage output, and again, because of my Assault Vest, he's not doing a ton. He could run Calm Mind, I guess, but again, Acid Spray should be able to make me win that battle in the long run. And then Flamethrower for his Mega Metagross that we want to be able to hit. Okay. So that's pretty much what I'm doing here with Electros. It does have the Assault Vest to take hits, but I'm also going pretty offensive. I'm modest, full special attack. Kind of just threw Mega Gyarados on here, just standard setup set. If I get to a point in the game where I think I can set up, it can do damage. Iron Head for the Clefable, and then just stab moves to hit whatever. Really, we can get chip on stuff with this. That's pretty much all we've done here. I've got some speed not invested here. Reason, so I'm putting 258 Mega Gyarados. Okay, so after a Dragon Dance, I'd be at 387, which probably helps me outspeed Crobat. Nope. 387. Man, I must have really messed up these speed tiers. I was obviously trying to outspeed something, but I don't quite remember what that was. Here's my Drifloon set that we were talking about. It's fully defensive, bold nature and everything. We can get a burn off of Terrakion. Pretty much nothing touches me unless he like brings Drapion, and I really don't think he'll bring Drapion. Just in case, I'm going to run no item so that knockoff is not a problem. So he'll see a Driploon and think, going to click knockoff because it's a great move to use against it, even at Terraghost. Metagross could do it. Drapion, Electivire. So I'm going to bring no items so that knockoff doesn't do any damage. We've got the Will-O-Wisp there, and since the plan really is to spam Will-O-Wisp, I'm going to run Hex. Hex does a lot of damage to things when they're burned. Even stuff that resists it are pretty good. So let's look at a Drapion. Just has no stats, but that's fine. Drifloon. So like, if I burn it, Okay, I'm already doing 34% damage, and if he's got an adamant, whatever, knockoff, it's probably his best move for me. Not doing a lot burned, and there's no item there, so it's all good. Even without the burns, again, 50% max. Then I burn them. We can heal up with strength sap. This is really good. And then just in case, since I don't really need any other moves for anything, I'm gonna go memento. If I get a chance to hit that move, and I don't think I need Drifloon anymore, I can click memento, bring on Iron Boulder, click Swords Dance, and hopefully he just kind of runs off there. So that's this set explained. This one, kind of mentioned it earlier, we're just here to hit stuff. Hopefully I get a chance to Swords Dance, clean house, probably late game sweeper. I'm going to go Hearthstone just to up the damage of Mighty Cleave, particular for random Pokemon such as this, Iron Boulder. It just gets me a little more damage. There was no other move that I really thought I needed, so I went with Hearthstone. My speed tier, I went to 144 speed, so we're at 352. This should work out this time. So I was trying to outspeed his 110 base speed Pokemon. I can't outspeed Crobat regardless unless I run Booster Energy or Scarf, and I really don't. And I don't think he'll bring it. So I just needed to EV it to outspeed these two. Obviously, if they ran Agility or something, they're going to outspeed me, but chance I'm willing to take. So that explains this. We talked about how good Nidoking here was. Sorry. There's the three moves that we talked. I said Thunderbolt the other. Why am I bringing Flamethrower? Flamethrower over Thunderbolt. Why? What was I thinking? Earth Power. Anything could probably kill this. Earth Power works just like Thunderbolt does. Probably trying to avoid getting caught with this. Thunderbolt and Flamethrower should do the same thing. Yeah, that's okay. Flamethrower catches the same things as Thunderbolt would, so I probably just threw that on. Sludge Wave for neutral damage on a bunch of things, and also to be able to hit Clefable. And then Hidden Power Grass, in case I need to hit Swampert, it's almost full HP. I think this does like about 90% damage. You're going to notice again I didn't max the speed. Nidoking's goal here is really just to take out any of his wall Pokemon. So you're going to look, Swampert's bulky, Clefable's bulky, Celesteela's bulky. These are the three Pokemon that I really need to outspeed. So I went with that speed of 244. So if we look in here, okay, I've EV'd it so that it outspeeds Celesteela, because I really want to be able to hit a Celesteela before it can hit me, because it does have moves to hit a Nidoking. If I can hit Nidoking with that Flamethrower, does great damage. Won't KO it. Okay, but it does a lot of damage. Really, that's the goal here. If he ran Earthquake, I don't think it would KO either anyways. But again, lots of damage to a KO. This is the reason we're running this. Hidden Power Grass is for Swampert if I have to bring it in. That does a lot less than I thought, if it's fully special defensive. But at the same time, like the ability to two-hit KO it, so if he sees my Nidoking, he's brought a fully special defensive set. I can predict Hidden Power Grass. His move's kind of done. And then again, I've EV'd it so to outspeed his bulky wall stuff. Like, of course, Nidoking can hit pretty much every Pokemon, but it can't 1v1 these guys. These guys are going to outspeed. They're going to probably KO me before I can touch them. But he also can't switch them in very freely unless he makes like really good predictions. So that's why I only outsped the stuff that I really need to outspeed. The rest is an HP, maybe live a bullet punch or something like that. And then the last one, Ogre Pawn. I brought that Focus Sash. Obviously, if you're running Ogre Pawn, there's no point in not running its signature move. Max speed because it's the same speed tier as his Mega Metagross and Dodrio. Lash Out here is to hit Mega Metagross. It's not going to do a ton, but it does some damage. It brings down his levels, HP. This is the wrong Ogre Pawn. I don't think my Ogre Pawn set's saved. It's okay, I'll just put Lash Out here. Again, not stellar damage, but it does something. It's better than Ivy Sigil. I brought Encore in case his Clefable starts to click Calm Mind or Cosmic Power. I can click Encore because I'm going to outspeed it and just lock him into those moves and then switch into something that can hurt it or just click Ivy Sigil or whatever it is that I want to do. Spikes are here in case I feel like I want to set up spikes or I've got to turn the Waste and the Focus Sash just because I didn't know what else to put on here. So let's see how this match went. So looking at his team, he's now brought 3 Pokemon that I wasn't overly confident he would bring. I didn't think Electivire would come. Didn't think Drapion would come. Wasn't overly confident in the Tentacruel. But they came. But the beauty of the way I prep is usually, even if I think things won't come, I still plan things to deal with them anyways, just in case. So they're here. We're going to see, again, Drifbloom can take hits from his physical attackers. The main threat being Tracheon, but I can Will-O-Wisp and neuter any of his physical attackers. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5 physical attackers. So Drifbloom kind of just goes nuts here. Don't think Tentacruel can really touch my Electros, so we've got that. So let's see how this goes. Oh, why is it on fast? So I'm going to lead with the Nidoking. Sorry, went really fast there. Okay, he's led with Electivire. I know that as Electivire outspeeds me, he should also have that knowledge. Don't think this thing has anything that would one-hit KO it. It might get Earthquake. Don't think that's going to be a one-hit KO, though. So if we look at an Electivire set against my Nidoking. Okay, maybe he gets a really high roll if he's Adamant. I'm not confident he's going to be Adamant. He's probably max speed or close to max speed. And he's probably not expecting me to have this much HP invested. So we should live whatever he throws out. Earth Power hits everything here. Nothing's immune to it, so I'm just going to click that probably. There's the Swampert, Earth Power. Okay, so we saw earlier that Earth Power shouldn't be doing that much if it was fully specially defensive. Clearly it's not. Earth Power could KO if that was a normal roll. But given that it's close to 50, if I get a really low roll, I would not KO. So I'm probably going to just hit Hidden Power Grass just to make sure it's gone. Yeah, Hidden Power Grass, KO'd. So now Electros can kind of just click Dish. No, he can't. He's got the Motor Drive here still. Tracheon's in. I don't really want to lose Metagross yet. I mean, Nidoking yet. Okay, so there's my physical defensive Pokemon. He had to kind of click Earthquake to hit Nidoking, otherwise it's not KOing me with anything. If we look at Terrakion for a second, Nidoking, right? He has to click Earthquake. I'm going to assume he's adamant. Actually, again, he probably doesn't think I have HP invested. Anyways, Earthquake is probably the only move he's going to click here, so it makes sense to throw in my Flying type. Now, I don't know his item. I really don't. He could easily be Choice Scarf or Choice Banded, in which case he can't touch me. So I don't have to Terra here. I'm going to click Will-O-Wisp to burn him, and if he switches, burn anything else, maybe Electivire. Okay, so he is clearly not Choice Scarf. That would have done a lot of damage, about 52% it was. Tracheon. Drifblim. Okay, or more. So that could have been a bad turn right there. Had I burned him after, I could take about 20% damage. That would have been a really bad turn. I may have over predicted. Fortunately, he missed. So we're gonna. Well, I missed too, so it was a nothing turn. But going to Terra Ghost for sure now. Okay, 37%. Burn. Tracheon really is not going to do anything this match. Now, if he had a Focus Sash, it's gone now. There goes the heal. So there's the special defensive switch in. And he used Toxic. Well, yeah, that was probably a good play for the Drifblim after he saw what it was. Kind of tough now. Electros isn't going to live forever anymore. But again, he's only got one special attacker, so it shouldn't matter too much. Electivire. There's the Acid Spray. Probably because Discharge wasn't going to do too much. What's his name? Tentacool. Electros. Nah, it makes sense. Electric type switching. Couldn't click. Yeah, I couldn't click Discharge, but now with the Acid Spray, I can click any other move and do some damage. Yeah, I switched. Darn. So I can keep going. Oh, no, he read me. Damn it. Yeah, get some chip off on this thing. Okay. We're just going to let Electros die here. Its role is pretty much over. Lost the Assault Vest. Doesn't do a ton of damage to anything. It's not really playing much of a role. Let it just go down. And we'll get a free switch in. Okay. The Focus Sash is nice. I can live whatever he throws at me, and I should be able to KO. Oh, okay. That's not good. That's very bad right there. Because this thing outspeeds all my Pokemon because of that speed boost, which was a mistake. Electric move would KO this. Drifblim can probably take a hit, but I'm not loving the matchup at the moment. Now that you're damaged because of my hidden power move, Earthquake would probably KO. Rather not throw this in yet, as it can't quite sweep, given that this is at full HP. Hopefully we break out of the freeze, or it's faster than me, that makes sense. Yeah, Drifblim. Gotta click that Will-O-Wisp. Oh, darn. Okay, well, at least we forced out the speed boost, but this thing burned would have been fantastic. So now it can still do damage to me. We're going to click Will-O-Wisp again. Hopefully that'll be enough. Oh, okay. So the no item was helpful. Lets me take knockoffs pretty well. Missing Will-O-Wisp twice, though, not so great. As you saw, knockoff does 41%. Would have been nice to neuter that before he can do it again. Yep. Tusk, good play. All I got is this left. I'm going to have to bring Nidoking in after to get rid of that Toxic Spike because I don't want Iron Boulder to get poisoned. Unfortunate. Drifloon had the potential to just win this game, but given all its misses, that unfortunately was not a possibility. We're kind of in a rough spot now. Knock off losing the life orb isn't great. Yeah. See, now I kind of wish I brought Intimidate on Gyarados over Moxie. Because he's going to Mega this. It will lose Clear Body. Yeah, I'm going to have to sack Nidoking. It's kind of done its job. Everything else outspeeds it now, so they're all going to KO it. Just throw it away. And he's setting up. Okay. The setup was interesting. I guessed how it speed my Iron Boulder, which is fair. But did he not think that Earth Power could KO? I know Mega Metagross is bulky, but it's surely not that bulky. Let's see here. Okay. I lost my life orb. Oh man. 81% chance to KO if he's solely offensive, which is possible that he wasn't. The brutal survival. Okay, what do I have? You probably can't KO Gyarados in one hit. So we're going to have to bring Gyarados in. We're just going to have to hit it. I can't click Dragon Dance because he's used agility. I need to be able to KO. Yeah, didn't have anything for Gyarados. I could have clicked Dragon Dance. Yeah, we're going to have to let it go, and then hopefully Iron Boulder can sweep from here. Given that Tentacruel's at 91%, I don't think Iron Boulder can just click moves and win. Tentacruel, Iron Boulder. Yeah, won't quite KO. Electivire. What was his third Pokemon? Terrakion. I need to guarantee the KOs, though. I'm going to click Swords Dance. Hopefully he does not have, like, Earthquake or something. I don't know. Let's see. He did not have it. I should be able to win from here. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Okay, so this ended up being really close. Some unfortunate misses made this match very dependent on Iron Boulder. Worked out this time. Hopefully we don't get so many misses and freezes in our upcoming matches, because I don't know if we'll be able to battle back from that every time. Hopefully this video worked out. I'll see you guys week 7. See ya.